So we have Jay.
Thanks. My question would be, so in terms of the island itself, like it's awesome, well designed, engaging. We are a company that traditionally builds e-learning and hosts it on an LMS because companies obviously want the data, they want reporting, both like analytics and things for their boards. So how, I guess, because it's so interesting to me, and I think our demographic of, say, call them construction workers and things like that in the various fields, would find this a lot of fun to engage with and train with. So how does the island function? I mean, it probably sounds like a super basic question for this call, but for me, I was, without doing any research, very curious on how it provides the reporting, how it tracks the user, how it, because again, I just think it's an excellent tool. So any tips and tricks that you could help, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, it is a big question, like how the island functions, because it does a lot of things. And have you seen the game loop have you seen the videos about game loops and also game loop of OP?
No, I haven't, but I should check those out.
There's a few big components, which is it's all based on learning the Octalysis framework, right? And so the foundation is that, hey, you go around the island, you learn different things, do different activities, and you gain these 8 core drives based on the Octalysis framework. So like I said, just in this life coaching session, first of all, they're broken into different sections. The Octalysis core, it's all about my stuff, right? It's, the game design techniques, what are the core drives, all of the 5-step design process. And then there's all the peripheral knowledge, motivational psychology. So we explore other people's work, technology, entrepreneurship. So basically, like I said, the OP is like downloading my brain. Basically, it's like everything that I've learned, I try to share it here. And so as people do activities, the core foundation is that they get to level up their status. And so most people start at blue, right? And they will get power-ups that's related to that core drive. So I don't know, if CD4 ownership possession, you get more gold when you open a chest. And then once you get all 8 of them, then you get to upgrade your status, and then you get a new set of 8 power-ups. And so some of them are kind of straightforward about, oh, it just gives you numbers. Some people really like the compound interest. You get 5% interest rate on your trial coins every 2 weeks. But the key is that a lot of it is focused on core drive 3, empowerment of creative feedback. So it's giving people a lot of strategy and choices. Like for compound interest, right? Should you spend your coins to help you get more resources, or you should keep it in your inventory so you get this interest rate, right? So that's a spend versus save kind of question. But if you spend, you're also investing in potions to help you grow. Then there's the geomons you capture. So there's a variety of things. It all boils down to, and then you asked a bit of a technical question about.
Yeah, I guess I'll say I have started on the OP training, like on the, watching the videos and progressing through those different modules, and interested to see how it's tracking me through like a traditional LMS. But from what I can tell, it's not really hosted on an LMS, right?
Yeah, no, it's all custom built. We track what we need to do to power the game system, the game mechanics. So we'll track your videos you've watched, the core drive quiz. At some point you unlock the power to create quizzes. The quiz you've created, quizzes people answered, all those things, and geomons capture. So all the game mechanics, and it roughly correlates to your core drive EXP. Like if you have very, very, like some people, you can even tell their personalities. Like some people, I remember, they just have a tall hat. Their core drive 1 epic meeting calling is crazy, and everything else is like, okay. It's like they just want to consume core drive epic, or also they also free a lot of geomons. So if you free a geomon, you let it go into the wild, you get core drive 1, or you can sell it for money and get CD4 stuff. So we can kind of tell. But yeah, so there's like game loop that this is June of 2018, and and then July we can talk more about it. I think there's some videos that talk about this process, about adding more, and then this already outdated. Wow, it's updated by 2 years now. Crazy. You have all these activities and people level up, and there's end game. It is pretty engaging. So we have a DAU over MAU of, I think, consistently about 30 to 38%. And what that means, so it's daily active user or for the monthly active user, which means that if you are a monthly active user, which means you come at least once a month, there's a 30 to 40% chance you'll come in every single day. And so as a reference, and usually education platforms don't use that metric. It's usually gaming companies or Facebook. And as a reference, like Netflix, DAU revenue is about 40%. So yeah, so we're around that zone. But of course, Netflix is all about cliffhangers, addictive entertainment. OP is just like watching my face all day long. So I think we're happy with those, with relatively comparable numbers. Yeah. So yeah, I think it still needs a ton of improvements, performance. We need to rebuild a lot of the back end because the Angular system that it's built on, we use Angular that it's built on, is no longer supported. So we have to upgrade to new Angular, which is it's going to be so much work. So onboarding, every time we add a bunch of features, onboarding gets a little broken. We got to go back and fix onboarding. So there's just a lot of stuff we need to do. So and I'm also doing my consulting design company NFT project. So and I'm also the educator. I'm the teacher on the platform, so I need to create all this video content. So it's hard to it's pretty hard to consistently keep improving the platform, which you have been doing for a long time.
Well, it's great so far, and so if we like to learn more about how it's structured to better the learner, obviously nowhere near as complex as this with the extreme level of gamification, but it is something I think that could be applied to like industry specific type training. So thanks for that, and I'll definitely do some research.
Yeah, and one thing that's relevant is just that implicit versus explicit gamification. So explicit gamification more looks like a game, feels like a game, whereas implicit gamification doesn't have graphics, animation, doesn't look like a game, but has all these 8 core drives to nudge people for like LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn, you don't think of it as a game, but it has all these game mechanics that motivate behavior. So it depends on your target audience, the brand of company. Like, since my brand is gamification, I can be very explicit. It looks like a fun island people explore. But some people say, no, like, we are targeting people with CFAs and they want like more traditional looking. But even so, then we would use implicit gamification design. But even those, I'd say one, I guess, last little example to wrap up. I've shared it a few times, but many years ago, we were doing a project to gamify SEC compliance training for financial firms. And so the target audience are like financial professionals. It's doing these, again, very boring SEC compliance training. And the managers that brought us on, right, they were saying, like, we don't want any kind of cartoony characters. We don't want like fun, cute characters. We want like real life, because these are finance professionals. The moment they see like cute things, they're not going to take it seriously. And then sort of, okay, well, believe in, we want to respect the client, but we also did an experiment. So we asked the actual financial professionals and say, hey, out of all these character designs, what would you use the most? And the majority of them chose like the cute Farmville-ish characters, So it's like, even they like to have fun. And going back to that example, Waze, I believe that even today, if we were hired by a navigation company, if let's say Waze did not exist and we designed Waze for them, right, they will turn it down because they'll say, we're a professional company. Navigation needs to be reliable, needs to look solid. People have to trust us. If it looks like all these brown bubbly buttons and these smiley faces and like little car with a bib in its mouth, no one's going to take us seriously. We're going to fail. So they're going to reject this design, I'm pretty sure. But of course, Waze did come out, and within 5 years they sold to Google for $1 billion. So, and a lot of people like Waze, right? So I think most people overestimate how much explicit gamification will turn people off. And I think as time goes by, more and more people grew up with games. I think it's getting less and less of a problem. As usual, look forward to seeing you in the Slack community more, in the comments under the videos. For that said, I will see you guys next time. Prime on.